What a beautiful November day we have here in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. If you're not familiar with the location, a little bit south of Raleigh, a little bit north of Fayetteville, right off US 421. This program started, or restarted, if you will, about a decade and a half ago. And then they went full scholarship when they began playing Big South football within the past 5 years. And Mike Minter's done a phenomenal job. Let's give you our keys to the game in this battle of Hampton and Campbell, presented by Ingles.
Well, for Hampton, it's all about ball security. Protecting the football is going to be paramount, and then defending the passing game. Dylan Ernie starting for Campbell. The secondary has been a weak spot for Hampton. They need to do much better today. And for Campbell, keeping Jet Duffy in the pocket. They cannot allow him to get outside on the edges, and then running the football. They've got to help out their young quarterback. They've got to set the tempo in the running game.
Be fits for Todd McComb, the defensive coordinator for Hampton. Looking toward the 5-yard line. Leaping grab is made. And it's the tight end, Julian Hill, his 29th catch of the season. It'll be 1st and goal.
And this is why NFL scouts are intrigued by Hill. Split out to the right in the slot. He runs a corner route. Just like a basketball player, Ernie going to him. Hill boxes out the defender right there. The hand-eye coordination, knowing that you're going to get hit. He was still able to hold on to it. Jaron Rainey was in coverage, tried to knock that ball loose, but Hill, the big tight end, hauled it in.
Hampton best in the conference in red zone defense. Campbell at the bottom, trying to punch it in on their opening drive of the game and set a tone on senior day here in Bowie's Creek. Back to McKay in the Wildcat. A hole, and he's in. Touchdown. Boy, that turned into the Chris McCray drive when all was said and done. And he's able to punch it in for the first score of the afternoon.
Well, McKay's taking advantage of his opportunities with all the injuries at the running back position. Nick Grimes going back to the Wildcat. The offensive line up front getting pushed. Ian Hover, the left guard, clearing things out. And that was an impressive start for the offense to begin the ball game.
Back in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina on our Ingles Big South Game of the Week, presented by Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. 7-0 Campbell. Let's go down to the third member of our crew, Lauren Kirkley on the sidelines. Lauren?
Yeah, as I watched these guys warm up today, I could sense a certain focus, a certain intensity to them. These guys meant business. I talked to Coach Minter earlier this week. He said practice this week was intense. He loved the energy from his guys. He was proud of them for keeping their head forward and focusing on the game against Hampton this Saturday. He said it was like training camp out there. You can definitely see that energy on the field today, guys.
Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, Mike Minter and his Campbell Fighting Camels trying to snap a 4-game skid. And a former Panther, noting it reminded him of his days in Spartanburg when guys were getting a little bit chippy during practice, and on Wednesday, a little bit of pushing and shoving after plays, but he thought that was a healthy thing for a team that has been mired in a skid here at 3-6, trying to make the best of their final 2 games.
And there's nothing wrong with a little intensity during practice, and coaches kind of love it when it gets physical and there's a little shoving going on, because that means guys care and it shows their competitiveness.
Remember, Duffy can get out of the pocket himself. He'll try to now. Duffy gets inside the 10 here in our opening quarter. Jet Duffy coming into the ball game with 319 yards, averaging nearly 4 yards a carry. A designed quarterback run, and he's in. Touchdown. I'm surprised they don't run him more.
He's got a dangerous ability when he runs the football. And it's not only his speed, it's just the awareness and the patience. I like the play design, the offensive line all flowing towards the right in a zone play. You leave the defensive end on the backside uncovered, and then the pitch man was white to the outside, but Duffy, recognizing he had a wide open lane, just made a little cutback and easily got in the end zone. But he's a guy that can do so much damage and has the explosive ability in the running game. And Campbell's offensive line has looked good today, so I'd say Campbell here, keep the ball on the ground, trust your big offensive line. Julian Hill as well, the tight end going in motion, has been a good blocker.
2nd down and 1. Freeman cuts back, and he's in. Touchdown. C.J. Freeman puts the Fighting Camels back on top.
So Hill goes in motion, zigzags over towards the right, then comes back towards the left. The goal there is to keep the focus of the linebackers of Hampton on Hill, thinking that Campbell's going to run behind him. They do the opposite. They go towards the right. It was a zone play. The defense just shifted over, flowed over towards the left. There was a wide open cutback for Freeman easily to get in the end zone.
Second rushing touchdown this year for the grad transfer out of Greensboro. Extra point try on the way and good for Isaac Riffle. And just as they did on their first offensive series of the opening quarter, the Campbell strike on their first touch on offense in quarter number 2, up by 7.
An important pickup. The offensive line is getting enough push. If you don't pick that up, Campbell's going to have the ability to use your timeout and get the ball back one more time so you can continue this drive, but that was a good job maintaining possession.
Play action, Duffy, pressure. Looking to get away, and he does from Brevin Allen, and then able to get into the open field. A first down and more for Jet Duffy out across the 45.
And there's the talent of Duffy taking over. Not only the speed stands out, but it's the awareness, the patience as he runs the ball, goes towards the left, cuts back to the inside. And this is an athletic defense, and he just zigs and zags and now moves the ball towards midfield.
Clock under a minute to go. Duffy again looking for room. Being pursued, and he'll be forced out of bounds. The way they've been able to move the ball, especially on this series, you get the impression they would have gotten it. Gonna throw long, near side, and intercepted. They're gonna say he stayed in? Looks like they will. Dorian Jones, his first pick of the season, and an 11th on the year for Campbell. Send it on down to Lauren with the coach. Lauren?
Coach, a lot of playmakers on that Hampton offense, yet you keep them to a touchdown going into the half. Big interception with 12 seconds to go. What do you think of your defense?
Well, the defense is doing their job, doing a great job of getting the ball field. And so the second half is really where it's at. It's not really about the first half now. Can the defense continue to do that all game? We got enough points, so defense continue to play well, we win the game.
You mentioned earlier this week how much pride you took and how focused your team was in practice this week. What do you see from their energy in that first half?
Well, the energy was there, right? And we came out, took the first drive and scored, and then we got a stop with our defense. But we got to continue to take advantage. We cannot have a sack fumble down there right when we was be able to score the ball when we got an opportunity.
What's your message going in that locker room?
Stay focused.
Thanks, Coach.
Mike Minner, it takes a former All-Pro to say 14 points is enough. Halftime, 14-7 Campbell here in Bowie's Creek. Both teams back in the field getting ready for half number 2 here at the break. 14-7 in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. Campbell on top of Hampton with Jay Sonhalter. Pete Yannity back with you. Kind of a chess match in the opening half. I'm still hearing Mike Minter say we've got 14 points for Campbell. That's enough to win a ball game.
You know, he's got to be pleased with how his offense has done enough. Dylan Ernie's come out. He's protected the football, only one turnover, but they've consistently been able to move the ball. And then his defense has been the star of the first half, only giving up 7 points. You saw the turnover at the end by Dorian Jones, but the offensive line has done the work up front, clearing out a path in the running game.
You saw the Chris McKay touchdown out of the Wildcat on the opening series. There's Ramon Copeland on the scoring drive for the Hampton Pirates that had Jet Duffy taking it in for the touchdown late in the first. It was a 7-7 game. Then in the second, and boy, we've been impressed by Dylan Ernie and those guys around him. They've had to go to their backup running backs today without their leading rusher available in the ball game, Brian Barr, and both C.J. Freeman and his colleague in the backfield, Michael Jamerson, have done nice work. Freeman, the touchdown, made it 14-7 in the second. Jet Duffy and Jadakiss Bonds connecting on what looked like a potential scoring drive just before the half for Hampton, but eventually the interception made a big forced turnover for Jonathan Jones on the pick, or I should say Dorian Jones on the pick, his first of the year for Campbell. The turnover for Hampton hurt them more than the turnover for Campbell, which was a fumble by Ernie. You see the numbers, and really a nice defensive performance so far for the Camels.
Campbell's limited Duffy to only 35 passing yards. They've been great in the secondary. The other key is 124 yards on the ground. Coming into the ball game, averaging 111 for a full game. So far, the offensive line and the running game has really done a nice job up front, and it's enabled some open passing opportunities for Ernie.
Duffy has moved into 6th in regular season passing all time at Hampton, but he is truly being held down. He came in with over 2,000 passing yards in his lone season playing for the Pirates. We get ready for our second half of action here in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. Campbell's trying to win a second all-time meeting against Hampton. We come back with third quarter of play on our Ingles Big South Game of the Week.
Welcome back into Barker Lane Stadium. I just had a chance to talk a little bit to Coach Prunty and what he saw from his team in that first half. I asked him what he could do, what he felt like his team could do as a whole to be better and to get ahead of Campbell. And he said, we've got to make more plays on offense. I then asked him what he wanted to see from his team in the second half, and he said, just to play hard. Back to you guys.
Duffy firing toward the end zone, intercepted. It'll be returned. Great job on the pick. They do what they do, and Darian Slade coming up with interception number 2 on the year for him, and for the Fighting Camels, their second of the day.
And Slade's the best player on the defense. You see him on the right side of the screen just kind of flowing over, and then as soon as he saw the eyes of Duffy, aggressively turned his hips, ran over, and made the play. Again, this Campbell defense getting a critical turnover as Hampton is driving.
He's 14-7, back to work for the offense of Campbell, and once again the ball is loose, picked up. Here comes the return, Keyshawn Moore, touchdown. So one defensive play begets another, and for the second time in the game, Omani Jenkins knocking it away from Ernie.
This is almost the same highlight that we saw in the first half by Jenkins, beating his man up front, and then the club on the arm of Ernie. See, 96 there, just the speed to get around, and then Moore picking it up in stride. And what a sudden change, back and forth, 2 turnovers in a row.
Man, oh man, Omani Jenkins going to get consideration for Big South Defensive Player of the Week, simply for forcing a couple of turnovers. So on back-to-back plays, each offense giving it up. Let's revisit our Ingles keys to the game, Jay. So how has it played out so far?
So for Hampton, protecting the ball, 2 turnovers, so they need to clean that area up, and then defending the pass. Dylan Ernie has done a nice job through the air, so Hampton has some improvement in their 2 keys. And for Campbell, keeping Duffy in the pocket, I would say for the most part they've been able to solve that issue, and then running the football, the offensive line has given the running game opportunities. So Campbell has to be pleased with their ability to do, their focus areas. Is just now 2 turnovers apiece. How are you going to react? How are you going to adjust? And who's going to play the last quarter and a half at the highest level?
3rd down and 9, and nearly picked off, nearly caught by Dante Crow. 50-50 ball. Wind does not appear to be a factor. From about 32 yards out for the first lead of the day for Hampton, and Axel Perez now 9 out of 10 on the season. And he puts the Pirates up 17-14 with 3:21 to go here in our third quarter of play. Here in a 3-point game, more movement up front, another penalty flag, this time plenty of distance. The kick is good. I think another offside against Campbell. So do you take the points off the board if you're Robert Prunty, or you just go ahead and live with a 6-point lead?
Offside. Defense, number 8. That penalty is declined.
So the 35-yard kick will stand for Axel Perez. He's 2 for 2 today, and now in his first season playing for the Hampton Pirates, 10 of 11. But a very nice addition to their team in the special teams category. He does it all for them, and he's done it quite well. He'll certainly be in consideration for the all-conference team. Now a 20-14 game on our Ingles Big South Game of the Week. That's big. So a player, Falk, who's second on the Hampton team in tackles, out for the rest of this game. 1st and 10. And looking long over the middle with Kelsey in stride. Touchdown! Jalen Kelsey, third touchdown catch of the year, and Dylan Ernie, a huge, huge toss for the score.
This is a nice play call by Nick Grimes. You have the long break with the decision, and then you go aggressive over the top. Kelsey winning in one-on-one coverage, and Ernie, another beautiful ball hitting Kelsey in stride. What he's been able to do today, the chemistry that he's had with his wide receiver has been top level.
Opportune time for Dylan Ernie's first touchdown toss of the season. And the junior from Charlotte, Ernie, connecting with the junior from Gainesville, Florida. The riffle extra point puts the Campbells back in front. 21-20 with 6:16 to go here in the fourth quarter.
They clean up mistakes in the ground game, but also win coverage. They've been stride to stride with the wide receivers for Hampton.
Second down and 10. Duffy. Pocket collapses, gets it away. Here comes Burris, and the running back with some room to run across midfield. That looked like a whole lot less. Once he made the catch, looked like he just might be knocked down, but he had a seam.
And this is all Duffy. The composure in the pocket. Most guys would have gotten sacked, but he stayed strong, looked towards the right, came back to the left, and then Burris was his outlet. And then yards after the catch. And then why was he so open there with the crease? It was Jadakiss Bonds coming through. 7 catches on the day, but that's an important play, blocking for your teammate on the outside.
26 yards, this time Copeland. And he's going to be taken out of bounds, but a nice pickup on the end around. Right back come the Pirates. Duffy, Bonds, hit hard after he made the grab. Looks like he's hurting a little bit. Malik Great delivering the blow, and yeah, Bonds in a lot of pain. Remember, he was banged up coming in. 3rd and 9. Duffy, pocket collapses, throws. Copeland just shy of the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal.
What a play. The pressure in Duffy's face, and Copeland coming through in the clutch. One-on-one coverage, gets separation. See him come back to the ball. The defender trying to reach over the top. Such a smart play by the freshman. Just kind of stemming back in to box out the defender.
5th catch of the day for Ramon Copeland, freshman out of Chesapeake, Virginia. Give him 20 on the year. 1st and goal, they work from the shotgun. White trying to use that strength to get across the goal line, but he stopped. Thanks to our great friends at Ingles, presenting our Ingles Big South Game of the Week. Fake handoff, Duffy into the end zone for a 2nd time today, and Hampton moves back in front.
And that's where Hampton's had success on the ground, is with Duffy getting outside on the edges. One-on-one tackling situation, it's tough for the defense, and Duffy once again getting into the end zone. And a big play on that drive was a 3rd down conversion to Copeland. If they didn't convert, they would have had to kick a field goal, but they used some more clock, and then finally punching it in for the touchdown. Looks like they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, someone said there would be no math, but you look at the status of where you are in the game, and you want to try to extend it to a 7-point lead. On the run, he throws, connects with Robinson, and Duffy and Robinson hook up for the 2-point conversion, and indeed make it a 28-21 ball game. Looked like Duffy was going to tuck it and run, was able to keep the defense honest, and that opened up the opportunity for Robinson.
And it forces you to make a decision with Duffy going to the outside.
Now here's the touchdown.
Yeah, on the touchdown, zone read, just plows his way into the end zone. Finishes it off, finally having success in the red zone.
By my count, it looks like 6 defensive backs in the game for Hampton. They go underneath. Jamerson, and taken down. Demetrius Stitman with the hard tackle. And you can understand while Jamerson's a little slow to get up. Clock winds down, 1:45 here in the 4th quarter. A big 3rd down coming up.
Well, and this pass to the outside, Jamerson gets it, tries to make a move. He's a good receiving back, but Stitman, form tackle, Shockley as well coming over to help out.
3rd down, completing to the big tight end, Julian Hill. What a huge play just inside Hampton territory from Dylan Ernie.
And Hill is so reliable with his frame. Another corner route. Getting single coverage and going to the big man. Again, making a play right at midfield.
upcoming in a 28-21 game and facing a 4th down and 16. First score of the game delivered by the Fighting Camels. As Chris McKay out of the Wildcat gets his first touchdown of the season. Later in the opening quarter, Jet Duffy able to punch it on into the end zone. One of 2 rushing touchdowns in the game. 7-7 through the first quarter. Second quarter, C.J. Freeman, the cutback, made it 14-7. That was our score at the half. The defense then steps up big for the Hampton Pirates. Omani Jenkins, second time of the game that he knocked the ball away from Ernie, and it was picked up and run in by Keyshawn Moore. I believe that's his first career touchdown. Then the post pattern that gave Campbell the lead earlier in this quarter to Jalen Kelsey. And then our Hercules Tires play of the game delivered by Jet Duffy. After his team had fallen behind 21-20, he put him in front. 4th down, Sneed turning, trying to make the catch. I don't think he was ready for the ball to be there. It falls incomplete, and on 4th down, the Hampton Pirates able to get the ball back for their offense.
And Hampton doing enough to get off the field, and Campbell had an opportunity. It was a corner route. Good throw by Ernie. And 4th and long. They had the pocket to throw it. Look at that throw right in stride. And after that catch, if it was hauled in, there's going to be an opportunity to fall forward for the first down.
And let's send it downstairs. Lauren Kirkley will visit with the victorious head coach of the Hampton Pirates, Robert Prunty. Lauren.
Coach, what a that you wanted to see your team come out.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the Lord for letting me play both teams. Good game. I give Campbell a lot of credit. Mike Miller's kids play hard, very fundamental sound. They play tough. Hey, we just come out with the win. Fortunately, get the win.
You guys forced some turnovers and made some huge stops at very crucial moments, really getting that momentum back over to your side. How big of an impact did your defense play in today's win?
I think our kids are maturing. They getting to where I think they could be at. But we got a lot of work to do. We got to work on our defense and offense and special teams. We got a lot of work to do.
With the win this week and a win next week, you guys could finish 3rd in the conference. Hampton's still kind of the new kid on the block in the Big South.
Well, an audio issue at the end, but I have a feeling Robert Prunty would tell Lauren right there what he told us earlier. A winning season would mean the world to his program. And as she said, still kind of trying to establish themselves in this conference. It's been a few years now that they've been involved, but of course, no football for last year and the months on either side of it. But I think a very important statement today. These last 2 weeks, games that could have gone either way, but they were able to find the ability to get it done and come away with a win.